I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to unveil the high one strategy. And no, it's not that dude smoking weed on the corner. It is a new, simple, effective, easy strategy that we use to make money here in the Newsbeat live room. We're going to go through that, our game plan in Forex, as well as our full stock analysis. I am Mark Melnick, and perhaps this is the Newsbeat show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat show. We have so many great things to talk about. I'm going to break it down step for step, a very consistent back-tested methodology that I just found over this weekend, and we put it together in a very easy to understand manner. I'm going to show you that. We're going to talk about China. We're going to talk about why I think Alibaba is set to rally this week, something I've been saying in the room on Friday. And we're going to talk about that and just so much more, and I'm so excited. But first, we must pay homage to our alien friends looking upon us from above over at the T3 Live compliance team. Kindly read this, pause this video, read this, and then understand that everything I say is just a joke and should be construed as humor purposes only. Only once you could do that, then I shall allow you to unpause this video and learn something that may change your life forever as a trader. Thank you so much for doing that. Let's just go right into it. All right. So we're talking about the high one strategy here, and it's a little bit of a strategy which was basically derived from like the high five and whatever, and it was just like a very effective thing. And it's definitely the high one is that dude might be somebody who's high, but that is definitely a dude who you don't want doing this strategy. This is just the high one strategy, and it has nothing to do with marijuana, but it does have to do with making money, which I guess could potentially buy marijuana, but I think you have smarter things to buy than marijuana. Stocks, marijuana stocks. With that being said, we have just a really beautiful way of unveiling this for you today. I hope you enjoy it. We're going to go through step by step by step and make it so easy, show you how easy it is to do, how easy it is to follow, and how easy it is to make money. So we're going to get right into it. Oops, this is the high five. Oh, there we go. This is the high one. So it all starts the same with choosing a name with positive or negative news on the Newsbeat Live morning game plan. Again, I'm going to show you how you could do it with non-Newsbeat Live names if you wish to do it elsewhere. But again, your results will vary, and I have back tested it also on a group of triple Q names, which weren't in the Newsbeat Live game plan, and the consistency rate was about 43%. So again, your results may definitely vary if you just want to try the strategy on any given name on any given day. That is why I say choose a name with positive or negative news on the Newsbeat Live Morning Game Plan, because we pick some of the best news names out there, exploit them, and show you how easy it is to actually capitalize. So right over here, choose a name with positive or negative news on the Newsbeat Live Morning Game Plan. I give that to you every single day. If you're not in the Newsbeat Live room and you still want to make money, you can. You just need to focus on things with good news, good volume, and you have to find them yourself, obviously. All right, step two: the stock must open up and gap up for upgraded names above the 1-minute 8 EMA, and the stock also must gap down below this on downgraded names. So very simple. We're going to show you how easy it is to do this strategy step by step by step. So, what are you going to need for this strategy? What do you need? You need you need a 1-minute chart, and you need an exponential 8 EMA. And what I'm going to do is, because I am cool like that, what I'm going to do is I am going to go over certain names here in which you could do and just show you how easy it is to potentially pull off. So we're going to start off. All right, so a 1 minute chart. Here we do. We have a 1 minute chart of GE. I'm on freestockcharts.com. I just simply click this little plus sign again. If you're using a different charting software, be my guest. You have to be able to pull up what I'm saying there. And let's just look. So I go for moving average exponential. I see I click the little green plus up here. It's funny because the green plus actually tends to be like medical marijuana stores and storefronts. They use a green, like the red cross. They use the green cross. That's a green cross you need to click for the high one strategy. Ironically, you just click moving average exponential here. It asks you where to add it into the volume or the stock you're watching. Use the top one, the stock, and you'll see a little line here. This says moving average 50. It's default. Left click. Top one says edit. Click that and simply just pull this number down and you see how it's dropping here. Just drop it down to exponential 8. That's it. And then hit OK. You're done. Freestockcharts.com. And you could use it on obviously on any charting software, as I've never seen a charting software that won't let you use an exponential moving average. So you got it in. Mine is denoted by the yellow line. Fair enough. So we have a 1 minute chart, an exponential 8. That's all you need. Step two. That was now the next step. Choose a name with positive or negative news on the Newsbeat Live Morning Game Plan. For good but lesser results, a name with very high pre-market volume. You will. I have seen this work well over 50% of the time. I don't remember the exact number. I believe it was over 55%. I don't have that number in front of me right now. But if you do like extremely high pre-market volume names, again, I'm just trying to give you outs here. If you are not part of the Newsbeat live service, I'm just trying to help you. And if you are part of the Newsbeat live service, you do get a much, much higher win rate. So, um, I'm going to pick this name for you every morning because I happen to be the person who does pick the names on the Newsbeat Live Morning Game Plan. So when you go over to it, for example, GE downgrade is what I was watching on November 9th. I throw it to you out in the pre-market so you know what you're watching. So when you see GE downgrade, we're looking to short it. We're betting on General Electric, in this case, going down. So going back to it, all right, so step one, we're focusing on GE. What a coincidence. We have it on our chart here. That was the name we were watching on Friday. Beautiful. What do we do next? That's step one. Step two. The high the high one long, your stock must gap up. If you're doing the short one long, and again, you just do the exact opposite. Um, you just do the exact opposite on the short one. That's it. That's it. See, I'll even type it out for you. Your stock must just simply gap down below the 8 if you're shorting, above the 8 if you're going long. It works both long and short. So that's step two. Okay, so because here's the first 1 minute candle, here's the exponential 8, and you'll notice when the first 1 minute bar opens right here, notice how you're below it. Notice how you're below it right over there. So right away, we know that we fulfilled the stock gapping down below the exponential 8. Very, very simple. It gapped down below. All right, that's step two. Step three, the stock must then test the exponential 8 average on the 1 minute chart, and then the bar must close. All right, so what you sit here and you wait for, I use this little yellow line here. It looks like a yellow piece of dental floss stuck to my screen. I don't want to tell you. I mean, I was eating, butter biscuits for lunch. But look right over here. You test it for the first time. Now remember, the first time is the only time that ever matters when I use it because that's when you're going to get the most algorithmic action in my professional experience. So you see GE here hits the exponential 8 moving average here at 891, shoots up through it to 896, and then the bar closes and you're on the very next bar. Fair enough. So what do we do next? Now that we tested that 1 minute exponential 8 moving average on the chart, the next time you go to the next step, The next time a new 1 minute candle breaks any prior 1 minute bar high, this is for the high one long. So um, on the short, on the low one, you short any break of the prior 1 minute low. So look, it's very, very simple. Okay. It's very, very simple. So what we're doing here is because it was a downgrade name, we're looking to short it. So the next time one of these 1 minute bars break, you get to short through. So that's step 4. Step 5 is actually my favorite step over here. You simply take your profits, and it's 70.3% effective as of last Friday, back tested on November 10th. Okay, so let me explain this strategy again in English. I think it was pretty easy. You pick a name that's on the Newsbeat live game plan. GE downgrade. Downgrade means short, upgrade means long every single time. That's how we decipher it. So it gaps below the exponential 8. That was step 1. Well, actually, that was step 2. We actually chose a name with negative news on the Newsbeat live morning game plan. That was step 1. Step 2, the stock must gap down below the exponential 8. It did it. You wait for the stock then to test the exponential 8 moving average, which it did at 9:35 a.m. to 9:36 a.m. in that 1 minute time frame. You're using a 1 minute time frame. It tested it, and then you just wait for the next candlestick to break down, which was right over here. You see on the next candlestick, it broke the low right here, so you short through that level. Now, if you were one of the people who shorted through that level, you might notice that the stock got decimated. Another thing that you guys might notice is that this short one and done is actually identical to the low one. They were actually a confluence of strategies in this one because the short one and done, just shorting below the low of a 1 minute candle, which is why we originally were buying puts here in GE, and everybody in the room hit a home run. It's again, I say it all the time. It's one thing when I have a 75,000, $100,000 day, and it's another thing where the vast majority of the room is making money in a GE. It's another thing where people are pulling in $3, $5, $10, $15,000 days, $500 days, $200 days, $1,500 days, $2,500 days. You're all in different scenarios. There's a difference when an entire room is doing it. Rooms that are dumping stocks on you, and there are a lot of rooms out there which will dump a dozen names on you, 2 dozen names on you. We'll give you so many trade ideas. We're bringing you so much value. So much value. That's cheap. When you give a lot of things, that's cheap. You want me to prove it to you? Okay. All you can eat buffet. Fancy French restaurant. All you can eat buffet. They have everything: ice cream, soda, desserts, cakes, pastries. They're giving you Chinese food, American cuisine, Italian, uh, everything. Yeah, the Chinese buffet over here serves hamburgers and hot dogs. Don't ask me how I know that answer, please. No comment. They give you everything. Wow, what a deal. And they give you one low price to have everything. You know how disgusting buffet food is in general. Mark Melnick's appetite was a victim of an all-you-can-eat buffet. And if you don't know Mark Melnick, I have one goal when I go into an all-you-can-eat buffet. It's to make sure they didn't make money on my entry fee. If I come in the door and the manager looks at me and he's like, "Oh," like that, that's how I know I won. I'm like, "Nah, we're cool. I'm just gonna leave. I got you though." Looking at you. The whole point, there are traders out there who could trade 20, 30 names. I'm one of them. I used to broadcast like that. I used to run a room like that at T3 many years ago, like 2007, 2008. Don't remember what I ate for breakfast. Again, everything I say is comedy. Maybe I wasn't in T3 back in 2007 or 8. But but I will tell you, when I ran the broadcast back then, all kidding aside, um, I realized that very few people were able to garner value. And a lot of people like me. They love my broadcasting personality, and they loved the way I sounded, and they loved the passion I had with the names I traded. But I was lucky if I was bringing value to 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10 people who came in the room, being straight up honest with you. Now, I'm at the point where I could pretty much bring value to 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 people. And that far exceeds every single room that I have ever seen out there. Maybe you are one of those traders who want 20 trade ideas. You don't really care about a General Electric. You really don't care about the fact that somebody bought 500 of these puts at a penny. Somebody bet $500. No matter what happens in GE goes against him with him. He's losing $500. And that $500 position in GE turned into over $20,000 potential on Friday. The trader didn't make $20,000, but the trader claimed to me that he made five figures. The trader had a five-figure day on a $500 bet. You know how many ideas we threw in his face to help him make that? Cha-ching, one. Now, I don't always have one name. In fact, sometimes I have zero. Sometimes I have two. Sometimes I have three. I am trading other things throughout the day, but I'm never going to load 25, 30 stocks upon your face. If I do it, believe me, I'm making money in almost every single one of them, and it's that one day in which it happened. Don't, just for the sakes of your own P&L, I implore you to just always be careful of trading a lot of symbols and trying to think that you could conquer everything. You're probably going to blow up your account if you do that. Just a warning. So again, very simple. Wait for the stock to test the exponential 8. You chose GE because it was on our focus list, and then look for a short. Now, somebody else asked me, well, Mark, I was trading Hertz, a name that, just to show you, exploded, exploded up on Friday. I want to show you something. And you'll find many examples of this too. That's why when I said, choose a name, you'll get lesser results, but for good but lesser results, choose a name with high pre-market volume. That's for people who, again, maybe you're not in a room, maybe you want to apply the strategy elsewhere. I'm giving you an out here. Let me show you on Hertz, a name that gapped up big in the morning. So, so here's Hertz, gaps up big, breaks out here, pulls in here. You're down money on the trade by focusing in on a Hertz. And if you manage to hold it all day, you manage to come back and maybe break even-ish on Hertz. What is the point I am making here? The point I am making here is that it doesn't work on everything. It works on a lot of things, but it doesn't work on everything. You have to be very careful. There's a reason why it works on Newsbeat live names, because we picked some of the most powerful names out there every single day. Maybe you'll find a name that moved more. You know what the puts in my name moved in on GE? You realize we had 8.5 puts on Friday that went from 1 cent to like 45, 46 cents. There's a 4,600% move in the options. Was I involved in that? Did I catch 1,000% on anything on Friday? No. But I hit the ball out of the park. I hit huge home run on General Electric, and I got romantically involved in next week's puts, which were safer. I watched them go from 14 cents to wherever they went. Where'd they go to in the end? 65 cents, 70 cents? I don't remember. I sold out already. And we sat there and we watched General Electric implode upon itself like a dying star. So what I'm going to do tomorrow in the Newsbeat live room is I'm going to apply this high one strategy, whether it's high one long or low one short. You get it? You just do vice versa. And I'm going to also apply that with the one and done version 2. If you haven't seen the one and done version 2, it's on the internet. I discussed it the other day. I unveiled the second version of the one and done 2. or not two, but one and done version two, shall I say, right over here. And it's a very easy way to apply it. You see, too many people get so caught up on formations they like and trading a bunch of names. And what you'll notice is the vast majority of people are not going to make money around you doing those things. The trick to make money in the market is to take names that are just volume leaders. The reason why I say that is because, for example, if you can make money on General Electric, when you grow your account slowly, let's say you have a $25,000 account and you're throwing 2% risk per trade, you're throwing $500 worth of options per trade, which is 2% of 25,000. Let's say you build your account to 30,000. Now all of a sudden you're doing $600. You build your account to 40,000, you're doing $800 and you keep going and building. With General Electric, you could manage $100 million account, $1 billion account, and you could easily trade General Electric. The problem with a lot of the strategies out there are they are not you have a ceiling which is very high in your head. So even though the ceiling could get you to like $250,000 a year per se, if you perfect it, once you want to break through there and once you want to start making more money, it becomes phenomenally difficult to manage. Believe me, I know this. I've seen it. When I walk inside these firms, when I walk inside these tier one firms, and I see people, and they'll come to these tier one firms, and they'll say, "Look, I'm making like 400,000 a year. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this," and they'll look at it and they'll say, "No, I'm not interested." They'll be like, "Why? I'm so consistent. Why won't you give me the extra buying power I need?" Because they come in, they'll make 400,000 a year. They'll have like, half a million to $1 million of buying power account. They'll come in, they'll want 10 million. And I've seen it because I've been through the process. And you might be sitting here like saying, what's the importance of this? Because I am showing you what industry leaders look at when they are looking at the names you trade because they understand the power of it. So do I. When you come to them and you show them like when I went to one I will not name, when I went in and I showed them my track record and they saw the names I trade, they said, "How much money do you want? And when do you want to start?" Like that. Like, how much money do you want to start with? Like that. Instead of when other people come with track records that are coming in with, names that are not scalable, strategies that are not scalable, they don't want to go near it because they know what kind of risk they're doing. That's why I tell you guys, that's why when I get you guys involved in a GE short, or, again, I can't legally get you involved. Maybe you just liked what I was watching and you decided to short it out of your own free will. See, I told you, compliance team, I'm looking out for you. These names are going to grow you as a trader. Now, you might be happy right now making 50, 25, 75, 100, 125, 150,000 a year. You might be happy. I don't know where you're from. I don't know what your goals are in life. I don't there are traders out there who, if they could just make like 5 grand a month, they're like, I'm good. All my bills are paid. I'm chilling. My rent is paid. My bills are paid. I save a little in the bank. And I'm like, that's fine. For other people out there who have like kids, other people who they're responsible for, bills coming through the wazoo, sometimes you need to make more than 100,000 a year. Sometimes to live your lifestyle, you might need to make 200, 250 a year to get to the lifestyle and what you want. Not to the point where you're surviving, obviously. You could survive on much less, but you know, this is why we attract the big names on Wall Street. That's why the big players of Wall Street, the players who manage more money than I have ever managed in my entire life, that's why they joined the Newsbeat live room, because they understand that the names that we go after and the names that we attack and even the high one strategy and the low one strategy I use, they all know it produces alpha. You think when I talk to owners of these prop firms and they want to get their entire prop firm involved in the Newsbeat Live community and they want to do this because they want longevity out of their traders. I come to them and I say, well, why do you want to join the Newsbeat Live room? And you know what they say? You know what they say to me? Because every time we imply strategies that where traders have to trade 50,000, 100,000, 150,000 shares, they burn out and we end up losing the majority of our people. We would rather invest in these traders long term, have them trade less shares, but have them stay with us and not blow up their accounts, and then we'll make zero off them. So that was from somebody I spoke to over the weekend, and he basically told me that he's trying to all the prop businesses out there, they're not doing super great. Now, of course, they're making money. Every prop firm makes money for the most part, the good ones, because you, they're getting paid off shares traded. But what I actually do with my strategies, I'm encouraging to make money off these trades. Again, if you ever see a P&L and you don't see how much size is behind it, somebody's trying to pull a fast one and show you shiny lights in front of your face. How do I know? And this is why this strategy is so important. The things I'm discussing with you, ladies and gentlemen, is why this high one strategy is important. So I remember when I walked into a prop firm back in 2010. I just went to a prop firm and with my track record, and I was making money pretty consistently at the time. And I basically showed them, and they showed it, and they loved me. And I was up like 170,000 for the year. It was like many years ago. I wasn't having my best year, but I wasn't having a horrible year. And they loved me. And they couldn't wait to get me in the door. And they're like, when do you want to start? Whoa. And I'm like, well, all right. Well, we have to negotiate. Like, how much money? He's like, we'll let you keep 100% of your money. We'll put up the money. And I was like, I felt like almost like, I guess what's the analogy? I felt like a tampon, like there were strings attached somewhere, or or something, or like a marionette, or like a puppet. I'm like, all right, you're letting me keep 100% of my money. I thought you were going to ask like 70-30 split. No, you keep 100%. They said legally they have to do something, so it was like 99 point whatever of my money that I get to keep, but they'll put it up, and I'm like, okay, so what do you get out of this? And they said, we just want you to keep trading that volume because the volume you trade, from what was explained to me at the time, keeps their prices down. Because when these prop firms have someone like me who's trading hundreds and hundreds of thousands of shares every day, they love it because A, they make a killing on the commission, and B, their prices are cheaper across the board. So traders like me, they absolutely love. They'll roll out the red carpet. Now, if I went to one of these places, they'd look at my P&L. They'd be like, well, we need a piece of that P&L. We don't care about the size you trade. What are you really trading? 6, 7, 800 contracts a day? We would rather have you trade 500,000 shares. Don't get caught up with the scam, which is trading common shares of stock in hundreds of thousands of shares. If anybody shows you anything out there, P&L wise, always ask how many shares did you take to do it. You want to know how I crush General Electric? You want to know how many contracts I'm in? I'll share with you. That's fine. But anytime you show a P&L and you insinuate that this person is so great because they took a you know, they took a size which nobody else can really take. They don't have the buying power, the money to do it. What's the point? What's the point if you can't have any form of duplicity for any of the profits that you see on your screen? Even in a lower percent, you can't even do the duplicity because the trader is trading in and out of that position so many times in which the trader isn't even telling you. And I've seen it done. I've seen it and it happens all the time. A trader likes a name short, they cover, they short, they cover, they short, they cover, they short, they cover, they short, they cover. Stock goes up against them, they're already out. Stock goes down with them, they short more. While traders in the room are just, for example, sitting there in a short position just waiting for it to work. Don't be scammed by the bullshit out there. Be very, very careful. That is why when I come to you with a GE and I tell you what 500 contract print at a penny. Now that's a very rash example, but with $500 you could make $20,000 on General Electric call yesterday. Maximum risk $500. Whether GE got halted and GE came out and said, "We cured cancer." God bless them. I hope they do. I'd be very happy to have a down day on GE if they halted and cured cancer and gapped up to $9,000, over 9,000, right? Let's say they gapped up over 9,000. You know what that $500 bet in puts would be? It'd be worth zero. You know what would happen if you were short? Well, in my obviously obnoxious example, which is very beyond unlikely, if you were short shares, your account would be so below zero you wouldn't even be able to sneeze. You'd get the broker calling you up. Well, when are you going to send a check in? And then you're going to say, "Screw you, I'm not sending a check." And then you're going to have a big headache. So when I'm showing you these strategies, it goes beyond the fact that you're making money. It's how you make money. How you make money is the most important part about making money. If it wasn't, go rob a bank. And again, by no means would I ever tell you that you should go rob a bank. Hmm. Money's the most important thing in the world? Is it really? How you make the money is important. By sharing these algorithmic strategies with you, making money with low stress, ease, less psychological toxicity, you're going to be a better human being. You're going to be a better brother, sister, parent, friend, neighbor, father, mother, aunt, uncle, son, daughter. You're going to be a better human being across the board. Believe me, I know. I know because I was one of those people trading hundreds of thousands of shares a day. When I had a bad day, I wasn't particularly an a-hole, but I wasn't nice to the people around me. I just wanted to be left alone because I knew I was like grumpy, and I think everybody here can relate with that feeling, except for some of the women in the room who are just amazing human beings. But you know what I'm talking about. Like, a lot of us have gone through that, whether you have or not. So when I'm sharing these strategies, I'm trying to prevent psychological toxicity. I'm trying to promote longevity. If you want energy, there are natural ways to do it. Eat an apple in the morning. That'll give you energy. You know what else will give you energy? Snorting a line of cocaine and eating, frosted a box of frosted flakes with milk. That will wake your butt up. How you achieve the means of your goals are the most important part of it. Because if you go about trading, looking at flashy lights, looking at people trying to make things sound like it's stupidly easy to make money all the time, you're probably going to fail. And by me coming out with this high one strategy, I'm doing the majority of the work. You want to know what the hardest part I I think in my humble opinion is of the high one strategy? Do you guys want to guess what I think it is? You want to know what the hardest part of this entire strategy is? That. Nope. That, you know, that. I do that step for you. This is the most important part of the entire strategy. I do that for you. I could pick the Newsbeat live game plan name. That's what I do. You know how many stocks I go over? You know how many analyst upgrades I go over? You know how many news notes I go over before I came with GE? Every single one on Wall Street that given day. hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of news stories I'm reading in the morning before I come out with GE downgrade. Really. Every single story I read to come out with this step one. So that's why the high one strategy is easy, because I'm nailing down one name. How many traders out there, how many people out there, when they're coming into the market giving you a trade, how often do they have a name to focus on in the morning right away? One name. Not not a name. Everybody will give you a name. Oh, I'm watching a list of these 20 names. Oh, wow. Thank you. What value? It's funny. I have a filter which shows all the stocks that are gapped up the most and gapped down the most. I could have my 3-year-old come in and broadcast and say, because he knows his letters. So he could be like, watch XYZ, AAPL, AMZN, watch this ABC, whatever it is. And he could be a sick broadcaster. Look, I'll go back. I'll be like, look at this stock my son called. He's a 3-year-old. He's a 3-year-old. He doesn't know how to fully write his name yet because he's holding a crayon and his handwriting looks like that of his father today, which is that of a 3-year-old or that of an experienced doctor. And he's a sick broadcaster. Look at him. Look at the names he's giving. Amazing. Look at that one name he called out. Look how much it ran up after the open. Wow. Wow. How much did you make off it? Oh, you didn't make money off of it. Huh? How about you? No, not you. No, not you. No, not you. No, not you. Not you. Oh, yeah, there's one or two or three people. They're saying, nice call. Nice call, Mark Melnick's son, Shane. Nice call there, bro. Good looking out. Well, the other 100 people are like, WTF? Like, what the freak is going on here? So, again, recap. I choose the name that I'm looking to go long or short. All you need, again, is the 1 minute and an exponential 8 moving average. That's it. You get the name, step one. Step two, you wait for the exponential 8 to hit. Step three, after it hits and the bar closes, if it was an upgrade name, you buy through the break of the next 1 minute candle, or you short through the break of the next 1 minute candle if it's a downgrade. That's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. We have traders in this room doing one and done strategy. We call them the Newsbeat bandits. They trade for generally 1 to 30 minutes a day max. Sometimes it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And they leave the room. They literally, it's funny. You see hundreds of people come in, and then it's like, oh, we did the strategy, and then I'll go like this, and then after the one and done work, you'll see the decline of people logging out because they're calling it a day and they're up money. The goal of a trader is to make money. Now remember what I also said about traders who trade after 11. Not all of them. But as a generalization, from what I've realized, well over 90% of traders lose money trading after 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time on average. Yeah, you'll have up days after 11, you'll have down days after 11. That's why the morning is so important. That's why it is so important to making money. And if you disagree with me, look at your P&L. Prove it to me. Show me every trade you've done after 11 o'clock this year, between 11 and 4 o'clock, 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 o'clock a.m. till the close after the first hour and a half of trading. Prove it to myself. Look at your own numbers. If you want to sit there with and spend, hours doing stats on yourself, do it. Prove it to yourself. Email me. Email me if you are one of those people who made money. Tell me how many trades you did. Tell me how many you were right. Tell me how many you were wrong. And tell me how much money you made. Email me at mark.melnick@t3live.com if you are a trader who made money after 11 o'clock a.m. this year. From beginning till end. I don't mean up days. I don't mean how much money you made in the morning. I mean I don't even care, not even how much money you lost in the morning. Just from 11 o'clock a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard, I want your P&Ls. Show them to me. Give me a number. Or just tell me if you made or lost money. You want to know the truth? The vast majority of you lost money. I would bet anything on that. High conviction trade, I'm all in that the majority of you guys and gals lost money after that time. So, hope you guys enjoyed the high one. We're going to share more with you because for some reason we were able to call the dead bottom of the triple Qs in Amazon on Friday. How did we do that? Well, through algorithmic trend lines. And here are your new levels for the market tomorrow. Screenshot it. Take a picture with your phone. Don't tattoo it upon you. The Newsbeat Live Room does not give tattooing advice. Copy it down. These are critical levels in which I humbly believe the algorithms will be paying a ton of attention to. They don't always hit, but when they do, they are extremely important levels. So to show you some of the levels that came in which we gave you on Thursday night into Friday. Well, as soon as this works here, all right, there we go. Amazon. So Amazon, we gave you the low of $1,704.08. And if you actually look at the trend line in real time, when it was trading there, we actually called the dead bottom right over here when it was hitting. And the stock bounced up, and then it came down and it bounced up again. And there are traders who, if I read you the number of emails for the traders who made money on Amazon off that call, it was a ton of them. How do we call with such accuracy the bottom of Amazon? It was $2.21 off. $2.21 off the dead low of Amazon. All right. Maybe you're not impressed. Maybe you're not impressed. Maybe you're one of those people who are like, well, you're still $2 off, Mark. I don't know how I can make money off that. Where's the value, Mark? That's not exact. Triple Q's day low, $170.16. $170.16. Triple Q's day low. Day low we gave you. Our algorithmic level, $170.08. Well, bing, this was the Newsbeat live levels for November 9th, in which we gave you on November 8th. Q's 170.08. How nice is that? 8 cents off the dead bottom of the triple Qs. And if you actually watched it on a 5 minute, you would have been able to call it as it was happening, even though it never hit 170.08. Because here is you see this yellow line here? This is the trend line I drew on the daily of the Qs. It hits right over there at 2:25 p.m. It's a descending line, so the number of 170.08 was on the daily, but since it keeps going down, the earlier it hits in the day, the higher that number is. The later it hits in the day, the lower that number is. So if you're actually watching on the 5 minute of real time, that was the day lows on the Qs to actually the penny. The accuracy in the day low call on the Qs was to the penny. So that was the important value added there of the triple Qs, calling it to the penny. Game plan name, I'm watching Hertz for a break of Friday's high. Very simple, looking for Hertz to break $19.52. Again, Friday's high. Maybe we get a follow through. I'll be watching it. I'll keep it on the radar for HTZ. Forex, yeah, I got a couple Forex trades. Had a couple winners recently after the couple losers, and still make money overall utilizing these parameters. This is a screenshot of my live trades that I just put in. I just realized I don't have a take profit level on my New Zealand US dollar. What the hell happened there? Hold on. We'll put it in with you live. Yep, I have no take profit here. So I got to modify my order. And I'm going to put my take profit. Whoop, see? Here we go. Look at that beautiful bull flag. So maybe it pulls in, pops up maybe 0.67758. Let's take profit at 0.67758. There we go. I click modify and it's done. All right, so my new take profit on New Zealand US dollar, I'll just print screen again and redo it. One moment. Huh. See, even I forget a step here and there every so often. That's why I'm glad I do this show. It gets to show me where I forgot to put in a take profit level on my Forex trade. So here is the new updated Forex trade. And okay, so now you have a take profit level on New Zealand US dollar. As you can see, I'm trying to buy them for US standard lots, New Zealand Swiss franc, New Zealand US dollar. This is where my order is on the bid. It's lower than where it's trading now. I'm hoping the stock or the currency pair pulls back, fills me over here, doesn't get over here where I'll look to get stopped out, and bounces over here where I will look to take profit. And now we go into our full stock analysis. That is for Newsbeat Live members only. Ladies and gentlemen, the Newsbeat Live Room may or may not be the largest, fastest growing trading room in the nation. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat Live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.